one going back to you, John. In versus, Zentrack says Robert Pattinson is the Batman versus David Corenswet as Superman.
Oh my God. Okay, look. If the question was straight up, who's the better overall actor? It's Robert Pattinson. I'm not that David Corenswet isn't great and can't build the kind of resume that Robert Pattinson has, but I would just say Robert Pattinson right now. I love the character, this particular iteration of Batman that Robert Pattinson did. Very different from all the other ones, yet still distinctly Batman. It was great. But I'm going to go David Corenswet as Superman because he just, in a way that maybe even more so than my favorite Superman, Henry Cavill, really manifested and embodied Superman the way most people always think of him and thought of him. One of the things I love about Henry Cavill's Superman, and maybe why it's my favorite, is that he gave us a different vision of Superman, and I loved it, and that's why it's my favorite Superman film of all time. But David Corenswet really was able to bring to life that iteration of Superman in such a way that was just made you feel a lot of joy. You know, a lot of people, like after Henry's, oh, why is Superman so dark? I want a hopeful Superman. I want a happy Superman. It's like, okay, whatever. But David Corenswet found a way to actually do it and do it really well. So in the specific context of Robert Pattinson as Batman or David Corenswet as Superman, I'm going to go with David Corenswet as Superman. Rob, what about you?
I'm going to agree with you. I like Pattinson playing this haunted young Batman, but I'll tell you something. I think it was even more so this in the trailer. There is one word, there's actually two words, that David Corenswet said, and I've never heard in my mind how I've thought about what Superman would sound like ever since I was a little kid. I've never quite heard the perfect Superman voice ever. At least the way, I mean, I love Christopher Reeve, but it was the moment where they sit down to do the interview. And David Corenswet, that's it.
Is that the line?
That's the line. Just the way he said, because he turns, she goes, I want to interview you as Superman. I mean, and when he got into Superman mode and he said Miss Lane, the way he said Miss Lane, I'm like, that's how Superman, for the very first time in my entire life, with anybody portraying Superman, the way he went into that and did that voice, I'm like, and I don't even know, I think they changed it from I'm talking about the first trailer I saw that they bring up that interview scene.
Yeah.
When he says it and goes into it, that to me was the perfect Superman voice ever. Better than any animated show, better than any, well, and by the way, I think he's great, but it was only that one time because he was getting into Superman mode. And I was like, and that was, I know it's a weird little thing, but when I heard him say that, I'm like, that's Superman. That is, because that's when he's sitting down to be Superman. I'm like, that's it, man. You nailed it.
You know, you brought up something, I'm going to say something very unpopular. Very unpopular. Whereas you got guys like Mark Hamill's Joker, and, I'm freezing on the name of the guy who did the voice of Batman, who passed away recently.
Kevin.
Yeah. Kevin
Conroy,
Conroy,
that was it. Well, had very distinct, like, wonderful Batman. Almost every Superman animated iteration I've seen has had a very generic voice. Whereas, like, they always do such a great job. Now, granted, Joker is kind of easier, but even like the voice of Bruce, like, it's just it's got a fingerprint to it. You know what I mean? Whereas all the Superman, not criticizing the shows overall, I'm just saying the voices for Superman have always been more generic. Whereas David Corenswet, I think, like, he really sounds like Superman to me.
I totally agree with you. But that was when, when the thing about, I'll tell you something else too, is he got to play all kinds of different colors in terms of his emotions and his feelings, and he was all over the place. Whereas, like, as much as I think Henry Cavill physically embodied almost the perfect Superman, he didn't get to play enough of the colors of Superman's character. It was all kind of on a certain level. He didn't get to be funny. Like when Corenswet does that moment and he's playing around with Lois and they're playful and everything, when he sits down, he goes, okay, Cronkite, sit on down.
Great.
And he goes from Cronkite into this Miss Lane. That Henry Cavill never got to do that.
He was never given a chance.
No, that's what I mean. He was never given a chance to do that just because the way the character was portrayed. But Superman has to be that guy. And the fact that he has to, because he's playing the bumbling Clark. He's playing these. He's an actor. Superman's an actor, and they've always played him too earnest. He only gets to do the one note thing. But Corenswet was all over the place in a great way.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.